Hey guys, Andy here. So this isn't really a video I was expecting to make. The Huawei Mate 20 Pro wasn't really on my radar until very recently. So, and you might be saying, well, it was the same with the Note 9, Andy. But although it was quite not last minute, but it was quite a late decision to get the Note 9. It was always on my radar. I knew what it was about. I knew what it could do. So it wasn't particularly a surprise to me when I bought it. But this kind of did surprise me. I think it's only been the last couple of weeks that I've really been reading up and watching videos about it, and it's just so impressive that I thought I need to. This could be my main device. So here we are. I've literally just come back from Carphone warehouse. I've done the pre-order. Now at this point it's too late for anyone else, but I did the pre-order offer where I'm going to get a Huawei Watch GT as well as a wireless charging pad. And I had been thinking about getting a new watch. The only thing, or the only concern perhaps for me, was that the Huawei Watch GT is not Android Wear. But then Samsung do some very good watches that aren't Android Wear either, so I thought, well, let's give it a go and see what it's like. If I don't like it, I guess I'll sell it on. So here is the box. Now you can see it less to shine. It's fairly understated. Now my understanding, I don't know if you can see the pattern, and it's kind of a funny texture, is a bit like the actual device, which is supposed to give it a bit extra grip and less slippy. A little bit of backstory. I wanted the Twilight version. I ordered it on Amazon about a week ago, and then I changed my mind and thought, well, actually, changed my mind on delivery location. Thought, well, I should have it delivered to a locker. It's a bit easier. Cancel the order, place the order again. But then they said, no, the locker's full. Oh, so I just placed the order again. And I don't know if that then cost me, because yesterday at like 4:30, I got an email from Amazon saying, actually, delivery date's now November 20th. Really? No. So I cancelled that. I actually ordered from Argos and Carphone Warehouse, kind of hedged my bets. Carphone Warehouse delivered quick. Well, not delivered in a literal sense. I had to go and pick it up, but they were the ones that had an email at 9:30 saying your phone's ready. Oh my god! So if I went, then the Argos one will go back when it comes, if it comes. So there she is. Let's just pop the phone aside for a second though, before we get too carried away. I'll have a look what else is in the box. So we've got SIM ejection tool straight away. I'm kind of hoping actually, I was hoping there was a case with it, because I haven't ordered one just yet. Well, we don't really need the warranty in the starter guide. That looks like it should have had a case in, doesn't it? That's quite a big box just for those. Oh, that's a relief. I don't know why. Maybe it's just, maybe in the all the YouTube videos they've generally had like a 2-prong plug. So I was a bit worried I was going to get a 2-prong plug and have to use an adapter. Now I'm just trying to see if my eyes are good enough to read how many watts that does. Because one of the big, it does say supercharged, so I guess it must be. So I will actually be using this charger. One of the big sort of pulls for this device is its insane charging ability. So this should be a 40 watts charging brick. It feels quite heavy and solid actually. Why 40 watts? It can charge like 70-75% in 30 minutes. I've seen a video where it charges from totally empty to full in 1 hour and 9 minutes. And this is a 4,200 milliamp hour battery. This is not a small battery. I just thought that's insane. Maybe gone are the days of charging overnight. You just pop it on charge for half an hour here and there and it keeps you going. I don't know, we shall see. Obviously the USB Type-C charging cable, some earbuds which I shan't even bother unwrapping, and a USB Type-C to 3.5mm adapter. So those, can't actually see the connector unless they're Bluetooth. Very possibly they're Bluetooth. That's quite cool if that's what they've done. I don't actually want to open it. I mean, I suppose I should really do an unboxing video, but we'll see. I'll report in the full review. So here is the device itself. So I had to get the black version because the Twilight, as I was saying, I think there's basically just supply issues, demand issues in some ways. I actually feel tacky. I guess that's just from having had the sticky on it. So we get it powered up, hopefully. So a few specs and notes. Let's start with the screen. It's 6.39 inches across. It is a 3120 by 1440, so pretty large. That's 538 pixels per inch, pretty huge. There she goes. We've got front-facing stereo speakers. Well, you can barely see them at the bottom. Is it front facing? I'm fairly sure it is, but I cannot see them. I like the little sort of red accent on the power button. Nothing on the left side. We'll come to the cameras in a second. 6 gig of RAM, this one I believe, 128 gig of storage. One of the big selling points for me is the high silicon Kirin 980 chipset, which is a 7nm chipset, which is talking about the thickness of it, basically, I think. The Snapdragon 845 is 10nm. All the new iPhones are on a 7nm, the A12, whatever they use. 7nm in theory is going to be much more efficient, it should use less power, and by all accounts the Kirin is pretty damn powerful as well. I think it's Huawei's own chip. It's an octa-core processor, Cortex A76, Cortex A55. The GPU is a Mali G76 MP10. Again, I don't know a lot about those chips. So yeah, nano memory, I think I mentioned. I did have a quick look on Amazon, did I say? Couldn't find any, so I'm not really sure what the deal is with nano memory and how we're supposed to get out of that. So the cameras are another of the big selling points. 3 of them, as you can see. So we've got a standard sort of regular lens. I mean, I think it's called wide angle. Yeah, wide. 40 megapixel f1.8. So it's not the lowest of f-stops, but apparently still low light is still very, very good. Then we've got a 20 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide angle lens, which I think also does macro. And then we've got an 8 megapixel f2.4 telephoto lens. Now, up until the Note 9, I only really have one lens on my cameras, on my phones. But I do find myself using the 2x zoom sometimes on the Note 9. It is quite handy. And I think I would definitely use ultra-wide angle. There's often times where you're trying to get more in and you can't step any further back. So that was quite a selling point to me. Here we are. We look like we're ready to go. One of the possible drawbacks, let's get that for now. I'll do that in a second, I suppose. So one of the possible drawbacks, which hopefully we're about to sort of find out about, is the skin on the operating system. So it's using Android 9.0, Android Pie, which is a great thing, but Huawei have put their skin over it, which is EMUI, MUI, I think. And I've never been a massive fan of Huawei's skins, and that's one of the reasons I kind of like, oh, should I or should I not? But the bits that I've seen, it looks fairly stock, it looks fairly standard looking. So hopefully, and in fact some people said there's some nice little touches in there, so hopefully that won't be too bad. Are there any other specs I didn't mention? Oh, I didn't mention the front facing camera at the top here, which is 24 megapixel f2.0. It also has 3D face scanning technology, much like the iPhones, and apparently it's really very good. I think some people said it's better than the iPhone. I don't quote me on that, that's what I've heard in some videos. It doesn't have a 3.5mm jack. Interestingly, it is slightly smaller than my Note 9. Let's just quickly take that out of the case. Well, according to the measurements it is. But the screen is just as big, which is quite interesting. Obviously a bit of a notch, but what I've seen is Huawei do hide the notch the proper way. So they black out the bar, but they leave all the notification things up there, which to me is the right way to do it. So size-wise, yeah, it's thinner, lighter than the Note 9. So what I'll do now, I'll get myself logged in, set up, install a couple of things. We'll come back just for a very quick and brief first look around the device. So I thought I'd stop for a second just to show you the fingerprint reader, because I totally forgot that's another of the sort of big, hyped, talked about points, is the fingerprint reader is on the front of the screen. So let's enroll finger. Oh, I'm supposed to do the size, and there we go. And then also here's the face unlock. How to enroll your face. First position your face in the so look straight at the screen. Now you can't see, obviously it's telling me to look in the different directions of an arrow. Still. So I'm just following. That's quite hard because when you turn your head you can't see where the arrow is pointing. But there we go, enhanced services. Yeah, let's enable them. What? Let's do that later. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you those two things because they are sort of quite integral. So I've been using it for kind of, I don't know, 15 minutes or so, getting a couple of bits installed, getting all the apps updated, been outside taking a few photos, ready to kind of carry on and just give you the first look around the device. But I think first of all, just to let you know about sort of the feel of the device, because it really feels very nice in the hand. The curved edges give a nice feel. There's nothing pointy, nothing sort of, it just feels very comfortable. It doesn't feel all that big. It is thinner than most devices with a screen this size. And it is a bit lighter than most devices with a screen this size as well. So the sort of build quality and general design and feel, really very good, really very good. Then the speed of the device just seems fantastic from what I can see so far. Very fast, very snappy. We're going to look at the, well, actually, yeah, so the other thing, I've turned on gestures now. So to go home, I just swipe up from the bottom. So let's say I open settings, I swipe up and it goes. If I want to app switch, I hold up, we're going to come over to YouTube, but if I did want to go back, I pull in from the side. So they are quite iPhone-y, but I do like them and they're done very well because they're built into the OS. So let's play a little bit of Ed and we'll test the speakers. So that generally sounds very good. I will get my sound meter on it obviously to see exactly how loud they do get. You might also notice there's a lot of sort of blank space at either side at the moment. I can obviously zoom in. It does zoom in around the notch, which I think is probably the right way to do. Google have got a bit of an issue in that they don't zoom in around the notch, but then it doesn't look in the middle of the screen. The screen itself, and I've got to be careful because YouTube will take me down if they recognise I'm playing Ed's video. The screen itself I think looks fantastic. Definitely no issues there. In fact, to play safe, we're gonna come out of YouTube. So yeah, definitely looks very good. I think viewing angles are very good. Looks nice, crisp, bright. I will get my light meter on it so we know exactly how bright it is. There's a little bit of a tint as you angle it, but then that's generally the same with most screens. I wouldn't have said it's anything to worry about. It's just normal. So yeah, the screen very good. The speakers, they seem okay. I'll obviously report back more in the actual review. The other thing I want to do is run Geekbench. So let's head over. Let's make it full screen. Then let's run the benchmark. Now this will probably take a little while. Geekbench 4 that I have now finally moved on to is a lot slower. So I'll pause the video here and we'll come back in a matter of minutes to see what the result is. So you've joined me literally as it's just come out of the finish. Wow. I think that's the first time I've had a phone break the 10,000 mark. That's impressive. I mean, that smashes the Note 9. The Note 9 was 8,900. The Poco phone was actually my best at this point with 9,019 as an average. This is just the one run, one score. I will do a few more and I take the average, but that is very impressive. That's an impressive score. If there's anything there you want to see, I'll just scroll through slightly. There we go. So I think the only other final thing really to, oh yeah, I did wonder. I've got no app drawer. This is a bit Huawei-ish. I've got Google over here. So, but that'll be fixed by installing either the Pixel launcher or Nova launcher or Launcher launcher or whatever else. I think another thing to comment on is the camera. So first of all, I'll just show you quickly about the camera app. So we have different options on the side here that we can scroll through. I didn't try portrait mode actually, I just realised I forgot, never mind, it will be in the review video. There is a pro mode where you can change ISO and all those sort of things, which I think some people will very much be eager to use. We have some other sort of options in the more version. When we're in regular photo, so we're on the standard lens when it's on ×1, I press that to go to the zoom lens, press it once more and it does like a, well, it's going to be a digital zoom of some kind. We come back out to the wide angle. So I took some pictures to show those off, and we start off with just the regular photo, which I think looks good. It was a bit of an overcast day. The AI told me at one point greenery, I think, and then it switched to cloudy. It was fine. It was just detecting what was going on. I think that looks a really good crisp picture. very green, the colours pop very nicely. Then we've gone to the 3x zoom. So again, that'll be sort of a one-to-one, just the optical zoom with the 3x lens, which all looks very good as well. Then we go to the 5x, and actually that still looks very good. I was quite impressed with that. There's not much sort of blur or haze or anything. Looks a good image. And then we bounce back out to the wide angle, and you really get to see how different or how wide it can be, basically, which I was quite impressed with as well. Then I thought I'd try the macro thing. So I mean, it was quite impressive how close I was to these leaves, and you do get a really very good shot. You see all the veins and everything in the leaves. Huawei also have their own sort of Google Lens type thing. I gave it a little test, pointed it at this bush and tapping on it, and it seemed to recognize it. I couldn't tell you if it was the correct answer or not, mind you. I did a little bit of video as well, which it seemed to struggle with the focus at one point, but the panning was very, very smooth, and generally a very good image. We will have to wait and see how that is as I use it. And obviously I'm going to do much better testing. I'll probably do some particular videos all about the lens, I'd imagine. I'll compare them to Note 9. I'm probably still getting the 3 Pixel 3 XL. I'll compare it to that. I might cancel that order. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But I will do more videos on that. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it if you did. And that means you'll make sure you see all the other future content on this phone and others. So I think that's almost everything. You see there the always on screen. That's a bit of, for me, that's a bit of a must these days. It does seem quite good with the face detection, and the fingerprint sensor works straight up. I was worried you might have to press the power button and then press the fingerprint, but it does work straight from off, pressing nothing. And it's not the quickest, but to be fair, I wouldn't say it's that much different to my Note 9. I don't think there's much else to say at this point. So it is just a first look. Hopefully that's been enough for you. I have to give a bit of a clean up. So as I say, subscribe if you haven't already, because I will be doing more videos. Obviously the actual review in about a week or so, something like that. Hopefully get the review done before the Pixel lands, so I can move on to that. Let me know any questions you might have in the comments down below, but for now, my name's Andy, and I'll catch you all again soon. Well done, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you might want to click the little fellow that should hopefully appear about here to subscribe. You may also want to check out some of my other videos, which are going to appear somewhere there. Also come and have a look at my website, androidandy.uk. There is also a forum. Come and say hello on the forum if you've got any questions about things, or request me to review things, or anything else. Just come and have a chat on the forum.